class, it's Brian. I just want to check in really quickly about week two. And first of all, say that after looking through the week one assignments, I think you're all right on target. Everybody seems to be getting through the HTML work and following the instructions from the textbook pretty well. I know it's a bit weird to do projects like this because it's such a methodical step-by-step set of instructions that you're following. But hopefully what it does is it puts you in a position where you have an end product each week of a completed page that shows you some of the broader capabilities of HTML without requiring you to learn every little teeny tiny thing in lesson format. But what is really useful for you, I think, after teaching this class before, is that your final project for the class can take advantage of all of these weekly assignments. What you put together for your final project can be a cobbled together version of any of these weekly review or case assignments, so you don't have to do everything straight from scratch. I'll talk about that more later on in the class. Right now I want to remind you of a couple things about turning in assignments. Make sure you comment your code in all of your HTML and CSS files, first of all, so your name is in there and all of that meta information. Meta as in just about the page information. Make sure that's all there. Make sure that you include every single file. Like just zip up the entire directory from your computer that you're working from and send that. When I grade your assignments, I unzip your work, I double click on it and view it right in the browser so that I can see that the functionality is there. And then I go in and I look at the code and see how you did there. So yeah, make sure you have everything in the directory, zip up the whole thing and send it. And lastly, I'm going to ask you to include your last name as part of the file name. Oh, one other thing. Please don't use RAR compressed files. Please use zip files. I work on a couple of different computers and I don't have WinRAR on everything because I'm too cheap to buy the license, and I don't know, the software has nag messages. Just zip everything. It's better for me if you could. All right. One last thing about week two. This week you're looking at style sheets, and I want to clarify some terms. Your textbook has good explanations of everything. There's certainly a lot of material on the web for you to learn this topic. But I want to clarify. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Okay, and styles in our web projects can exist in three places. And the term CSS is often used broadly to apply to any kind of style that we're using to format our web page. But let's be really specific. There are inline styles. That's when you specify a style statement as part of an HTML tag in the body of your web page. So for example, paragraph tag, P, space, quote, style equals whatever. Well, style equals quote whatever. Anyway, that's an inline style. It's right there in the tag. There's the on-page style. That's where you put a style statement in the head portion of your web page, in which case you would have a different style statement for every one of your pages, and that style statement needs to be updated every time if you have 12 pages, you need to copy that style code to each individual page. And third are external style sheets. Those are the files ending in extension .css that you make a reference to. We're already using them in this class. Those external style sheets, those .css files, are the third version. And the cascading part, the reason why we call them cascading style sheets, is that you can use all three in your project. The inline style will override the on-page style, and the on-page style will override the external style sheet. So you don't need to use all three. But if you're using an external style sheet, but on one individual page, you need one individual paragraph tag to have one specific style, you can just throw an inline style in right there to get the job done that you need. Okay. If you have any questions or you want to play with style sheets, you want to learn a little bit more, I'll point you quickly to a resource that I think many of you are already familiar with. And that's W3 Schools. It's number 3, w3schools.com. If you go to that website and look under styles or search for CSS, you'll see an enormous amount of information, good reference documentation, good playground to learn how to build different styles on your web pages. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. We'll continue the discussion about browsers in the discussion thread for week 2. And if you have any questions, shoot me an email or post it in the general discussion forum. Good luck, and I'll see you online.